Purpose. Introduce the premise, the alien misunderstanding about Earth, and establish the human-alien interaction that will lead to the size doesn't matter twist. Build tension through contrast in expectations. Detail breakdown, word count allocation. 1. Hook and misdirected arrival, 800 words. Cold open. A massive alien mothership descends into orbit, not to conquer Earth, but to colonize. Their actual target planet was a similar blue-green world 3 light-years away, but navigation glitch lands them here. Audio description emphasizes alien awe at Earth's biodiversity. 2. Alien POV. Small world, small beings, 1,200 words. From the alien's perspective, humans are tiny, fragile-looking compared to them. They are 4 to 5 meters tall. Internal alien monologue mocking human size and soft bodies. Cultural backstory. In their society, size equals dominance. 3. First contact misread, 1,200 words. Aliens descend expecting easy subjugation. Their weapons are ceremonial. They think they won't need them. First human delegation arrives. Calm, polite, slightly confused by the aliens' casual arrogance. Humans try diplomacy. Aliens see this as weakness. 4. Subtle human counters, 1,200 words. While aliens boast about size, humans begin showing advanced tech. History of warfare adaptability. Examples. A small drone zips around faster than the aliens can track. A soldier demonstrates precision shooting at extreme range. Alien arrogance is cracked but not broken. 5. Misunderstanding escalates, 1,000 words. Aliens try to test human resilience with non-lethal show of strength, but are humiliated when humans outthink them. They discover human stamina in extreme environments. 6. Section closer cliffhanger, 600 words. Alien leader vows to teach these small ones their place, and challenges humans to a direct contest, thinking it will be decisive. Humans accept with smiles. Section 2 to 6,000 words. Purpose. Escalate conflict into trials, contests, and psychological warfare. Show humans systematically dismantling the alien assumption that size equals strength. Detail breakdown. 1. Contest 1. Raw strength versus leverage, 1,000 words. Aliens easily lift heavy objects. Humans counter by moving heavier loads using pulleys, cranes, and machinery. Alien confusion at outsourcing strength to tools. 2. Contest 2. Speed and agility, 1,200 words. Foot race. Aliens are faster in short bursts, but humans win long-distance endurance. Scene of alien warriors panting while humans jog past smiling. 3. Contest 3. Harsh environment survival, 1,200 words. Desert, Arctic, and jungle trials. Aliens falter in temperature extremes without environmental suits. Humans adapt with clothing, shelter, and ingenuity. 4. Mind games and strategy, 1,200 words. Humans set up war game simulation. Aliens expect brute force tactics, but humans use guerrilla-style maneuvers, misinformation, and coordinated strikes. Aliens shock when tiny forces dismantle their positions. 5. Cultural exchange and doubt, 800 words. Some aliens secretly admire humans, noting their teamwork and adaptability. Alien leader grows frustrated, feeling control slipping. 6. Section closer cliffhanger, 600 words. The leader proposes a final, ultimate challenge, a direct battle between their strongest warrior and any human champion. Humans choose someone unexpected, a smaller-than-average woman, barely 1.6 meters tall. Section 3 to 6,000 words. Purpose. Deliver the final blow to the alien belief system. Resolved through both action and philosophical payoff. The HFY moment where humans prove that survival and dominance aren't about size. Detailed breakdown. 1. The challenger revealed, 800 words. The chosen human is a mountaineer and martial arts expert. Alien scoff. She looks fragile compared to their Titan warrior. 2. The duel, 1,800 words. Alien warrior charges with brute force. Human sidesteps, uses terrain, speed, and precision. Battle commentary emphasizes intelligence, agility, and experience over raw muscle. She wins by outmaneuvering and using the alien's momentum against him. 3. Shattering the illusion, 1,200 words. Alien spectators are stunned. Their belief in psi's supremacy visibly crumbles. Leader reluctantly acknowledges defeat, but with grudging respect. 4. Humans are special moment, 1,200 words. Human diplomat delivers the HFY message. On our world, survival doesn't belong to the biggest, but to the smartest, the most adaptable. Aliens begin to see humans not as prey, but equals. 5. Aftermath and departure, 1,000 words. Aliens decide to leave Earth alone, but not before exchanging tech and culture. Mutual agreement to meet again under friendlier terms. Key HFY story principles followed. Humans win not by brute force, but by adaptability, strategy, and cooperation. Aliens begin arrogant, leave humble but respectful. Focus on character-driven tension and payoffs, not just battles. Plenty of moments to keep audio listeners hooked. Clear, vivid descriptions without visual dependency. The air over the open plain shimmered in the heat. 24 alien giants stood in formation, their smooth, chitinous armor gleaming like obsidian under the pale sun. In the center, the one they called Commander Vero planted his spear into ground, the spike biting into the dirt with sound like grinding stone. Behind him, banners rippled, symbols of victories in countless campaigns on worlds far less troublesome than this one. Across from them, a much smaller line of humans waited, not in armor their own size, but an assortment of gear, camo fatigues, light exoskeleton frames, compact helmets with visor HUDs. Vero's booming voice carried easily across the field. This contest will be simple. No hidden tricks, no deception. Strength against strength. He gestured toward a massive granite slab dragged from the cliffs that morning. Lift and carried to the ridge. The first to reach the marker wins. The alien warriors rumbled with amusement. The slab weighed several tons. They had seen humans lift far less before their muscles quivered and their joints gave out. But when the contest began, the humans didn't even try to lift it barehanded. 2 of them moved forward with a collapsible frame of metal rods and pulleys. While the aliens strained to lift with their limbs, the humans slid the slab onto a wheel platform, locked in place, and began pushing. It rolled forward smoothly while the alien warriors staggered, their tendons straining under the dead weight. Vero's expression darkened. The humans were not faster. They were simply bypassing the entire premise. The ridge was reached, the humans already waiting, their breathing steady. The alien champions arrived minutes later, panting in disbelief. The next challenge was speed. An open course was laid out on the cracked salt flats, marked by tall poles. The alien legs were longer, their stride covering more ground, their muscles primed for explosive bursts. At the horn's blast, they surged forward, leaving the humans behind in a cloud of dust. Vero smirked as the gap widened. But minutes later, that smirk faltered. The humans were still coming, steady, relentless, their pace unbroken. By the 5th kilometer, alien chests were heaving, their long strides faltering. By the 7th, 2 of them had dropped out entirely. The humans caught up, overtook them, and crossed the finish line without so much as bending double for air. The alien medic units hustled forward to tend to their gasping warriors. Vero watched in silence. He had expected tricks and strategy, but not in biology. Endurance meant little in their culture. Victory was about the first blow, not the last. Yet these humans seemed built for the long war, not the quick kill. For the 3rd trial, the battlefield shifted. The alien crew ferried both teams into a searing desert where heat waves blurred the horizon. The challenge was simple. Survive until extraction at nightfall. No weapons, minimal supplies. The aliens strode in confidently. Heat didn't frighten them, but by midday, the air felt like molten iron. They relied on their climate suits, which filtered and cooled the air around them. When one of the suits malfunctioned, its owner collapsed within minutes. The humans moved methodically, setting up makeshift shelters, using reflective tarps, rationing water with ruthless precision. One soldier showed another how to dig shallow trenches for cooler ground. When the night transport came, half the alien contingent limped aboard with heat exhaustion. Veryl's jaw was tight. If the desert had been a humiliation, the Arctic zone was a nightmare. Snow blinded them. Breath crystallized in midair. Alien armor stiffened in the cold. The humans moved in layered gear, their faces swayed, hands deft to spike gloves. They built windbreaks in minutes, lit stoves from fuel tabs, kept moving to stay warm. An alien stumbled into one of their camps at dusk, shaking violently, without hesitation. The humans dragged him to the fire, stripped his frozen armor plates, and wrapped him in spare thermal blankets. By extraction, the humans were joking with each other, while Veryl's warriors avoided his eyes. The jungle was no kinder. Humidity dripped from every leaf. Insects whined in ears. Leeches clung to alien legs. Veryl's people hacked and tore through undergrowth with brute force, exhausting themselves. The humans moved quieter, their machete swings economical, their paths deliberate. At night, alien camps were swarmed by biting insects, while human camps smoked them away with simple greenwood fires. When all teams were back aboard the alien dropship, Veryl called for a final test, a war simulation. This would be his domain. His warriors had fought in sieges, planetary raids, boarding actions. The rules were set. Capture the enemy command point within an hour. The humans smiled but said nothing. The exercise began with Veryl's forces advancing in a broad, confident line. The humans vanished. Motion trackers picked up nothing but fleeting blips, always shifting, never in the same place twice. One alien squad found itself funneled into a narrow ravine where tripwires set off bursts of non-lethal paint charges, marking them as casualties. Another squad's comms went dark as signal jammers cut them off, leaving them blundering through false coordinates. Veryl's tactical feed disintegrated into chaos. He barked orders into static. When they finally reached the human command point, it was empty, abandoned an hour earlier. The humans had relocated their base and attacked us from behind. By the time the horn ended the match, every alien command marker was tagged. Back in the debriefing chamber, some of Veryl's warriors kept glancing toward the humans, an unfamiliar respect in their eyes. One even muttered a phrase in their language that loosely translated to small giants. Veryl ignored it. His pride was wounded. The contest was supposed to prove superiority beyond question, yet each had been met and overturned without direct strength-to-strength confrontation. It was infuriating but undeniable. He strode forward, voice echoing. Enough of these games. One last challenge. No tools. No teams. No terrain advantage. One of mine against one of yours. Strength against skill. Winner takes honor. The humans didn't hesitate. From their rank stepped a woman no taller than his chest, lean and wiry, her hair tied back, eyes steady. Veryl barked a laugh. This is your champion? The human commander's voice was calm. She's the one you have to beat. And so the final contest was set. The alien dueling ground was an arena carved from black basalt, its walls streaked with veins of pale crystal that glimmered under floodlights. A ring of towering warriors surrounded the combat space, their voices low, vibrating with expectation. Veryl's chosen champion stepped forward, a hulking silhouette of muscle and armor plates, each movement making the ground tremble. His four-finger hands flexed, claws rasping against each other in a sound that made even the spectators fall silent. Across from him, the human woman stood alone, light on her feet, her stance relaxed but balanced. She wore no armor save for a light protective vest, her hands bare. Her eyes never left her opponent. But she wasn't staring him down. She was studying him, noting the set of his shoulders, the rhythm of his breathing, the way his weight shifted unconsciously. The signal to begin came in the form of a deep horn blast that shook the air. The alien charged instantly, a blur of speed despite his size. Spear arcing forward in a sweeping blow meant to end the fight in a single strike. The human didn't try to block. She sidestepped so quickly it was almost a ghost movement, letting the spear's head pass within centimeters of her ribs. Her hand touched the shaft just long enough to guide its momentum further off course, forcing the alien to stumble half a step. The crowd roared, some with approval, others in frustration. Veryl's champion recovered, his strikes coming faster, more aggressive, each blow powered by sheer muscle mass. The human never met force with force. She weaved between the arcs, ducked under sweeping claws, rolled away from stomping feet. Her breaths came in measured bursts, her body conserving energy while the alien's growls grew harsher. He lunged again, overcommitting in an attempt to corner her. This time she didn't dodge. She stepped inside his reach, pivoting on one foot, her shoulder brushing against his armor as she dropped low. Her elbow struck the back of his knee joint with surgical precision. It wasn't enough to fell him, but the joint buckled for an instant, forcing him to adjust his stance. Frustration flashed in the alien's eyes. He swung low, trying to sweep her legs. She leapt, twisting in the air, and landed behind him before his body had even completed the follow-through. 2 sharp strikes, one to the kidney region, one to the back of his other knee, made him stagger forward. The crowd's roar shifted in tone. It was no longer just noise. It carried disbelief. The alien champion was panting. His shoulders rose and fell with the effort of keeping up his assault. The human was still light on her feet. No hint of exhaustion in her movements. Varel clenched his fists. He could see the rhythm now. She wasn't just fighting. She was dismantling him piece by piece, waiting for the moment when his size became a liability instead of an advantage. The champion's final attempt was pure rage. He raised a spear overhead and brought it down with enough force to crack the basalt floor. She stepped aside at the last possible instant, and the spear lodged deep in the stone. Before he could wrench it free, her hand shot up, grabbing his wrist. She pivoted, using his own height against him, and flipped his massive frame over her shoulder. The ground shook as he landed on his back. Gasps rippled to the alien ranks. The human stepped back, offering the chance to rise. He tried, but his movements were slower now, less certain. When he came at her again, she met him with a sudden burst of speed, ducked under his arm, and struck the base of his skull with the heel of her hand. Not enough to kill, but enough to drop him flat, unconscious. The arena fell silent. Then, slowly, the sound rose, not the jeers Varel had expected, but the low thrum of warriors acknowledging a truth they could not deny. The human commander stepped forward from the watching group, his voice carrying clearly. Size is a weapon, yes, but it is only one. On Earth, survival belongs to those who adapt, who think, who endure. We are small only to those who measure strength the wrong way. Varel's gaze moved from the fallen champion to the woman standing tall, to the commander's steady eyes. His pride resisted the words, but the evidence was inescapable. In a dozen trials, humans had met every challenge. Not with greater force, but with ingenuity, endurance, and precision. They had fought on the aliens' terms and still found ways to win. He stepped forward into the arena. "You have my respect," he said, the words heavy in his mouth, "and my word that we will leave your world in peace." A murmur rippled through the alien ranks, some in disappointment, others in relief. For Varel, the decision was not surrender. It was the acknowledgement of a warrior meeting another warrior and finding them worthy. The humans nodded in return, but there was no gloating in their faces, only quiet satisfaction. In the days that followed, the alien fleet withdrew from Earth's orbit. Before they left, however, small exchanges took place. Alien engineers traded materials unknown to human science. Human medics shared advanced trauma techniques developed from centuries of warfare and disaster response. Mutual curiosity replaced suspicion, at least in part. As the last of the alien ships broke atmosphere, streaking toward the black between stars, the human commander watched from the tarmac. The woman who had faced the champion stood beside him, her eyes on the fading light of their engines. "Do you think they'll be back?" she asked. "Maybe," he said, "but if they do, it won't be as conquerors. It'll be as equals." She gave a small smile, not of pride, but of quiet confidence. In the end, the aliens had come believing size ruled the universe. They left having learned that on Earth, survival was never about being the biggest. It was about being the one who refused to fall.